Hi everybody, Russell West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Apologies about last night. We were meant to have Governor B, but but unfortunately we got bumped for Sky Sports. But we'll be back next week, I promise you. Back next week, which is quite good because we got 2 weeks off from Premier League, haven't we? After Saturday, so Governor B will be on next week. Just confirming what day. Now, I'm a bit sick of Jesse Lingard transfer saga. I'm sure everyone else is. I'll go and look at the chat in a minute. But there was a new twist yesterday, which was reported yesterday that which could play into our hands a little bit. So I wanted to bring that to you and get your thoughts. Obviously, Jesse looked like he was going to be signing permanently in the summer, but he said no, I was going back to Man United because Solskjaer promised him first team chances. That didn't work. In fact, even more so because Solskjaer was sacked and Ralph came in. Doesn't fancy Lingard either, and so he's looking to move on. Obviously, Moyes went and plumped for buying Vlasic in the summer. And he's obviously, fair enough to say, he sort of struggled to make an impact in his debut season. But last night, reports came out about which could suggest that it plays into our hands a little bit in terms of the terms that Man United are looking for. In that he's allowed to leave Man United on loan this season. According to TalkSport, Lingard's available for £3.5 million loan fee, which is £500,000 more than we paid for him in January. And Newcastle remain interested, but apparently TalkSport claim that they're haggling on the price. It's not like they got a few quid behind the old sofa, is it? To be honest, but they're haggling when they apparently offered £2.5 million. That's been rejected today. With the player available on a free transfer in the summer, obviously we know his contract runs out in the summer. It was therefore understandable why we would maybe wait until then. But these new claims mean that doesn't necessarily need a big transfer outlay. 6 months to ensure Lingard sees West Ham as the place to be for the rest of his sort of foreseeable career, in the Premier League. And yeah, it's a bit weird because I can't see why Man United would let him go on loan because he's not. It's almost like they're sort of, well, you just got to get something for him. Get him off the books, get something for him. If you're not going to, because Ralph said it would cost you like 20 million quid to get him buy him outright. No one's going to pay 20 million quid for someone who's got 6 months left in his contract. However, as I said, it was reported that Man United have rebuffed an approach from Newcastle to take Jesse Lingard on loan for the remainder of the season, according to reports today in Sky Sports and in the Telegraph. Lingard's understood to be keen to listen to a Newcastle option because basically his mates there, Kieran Trippier, and also Newcastle, apparently, according to Claret and Hugh, have dangled a £10 million carrot in front of him to snatch Jesse away from West Ham permanently. The Geordies have promised to pay the Man United midfielder the 10 million quid if they manage to avoid relegation this season, and he commits to a permanent deal to remain at St James's Park. Apparently, Jesse is open to a loan move to the Toon Army, but he sees West Ham as his destination for a permanent move and for his permanent signature. So, but to be honest, 10 million quid, put 10 million quid in front of your face. And that might be something even West Ham bulk at giving a 29-year-old as a signing on fee potentially. But also Spurs are believed, to be interested in J-Lings. However, that would be a summer. And there was a lot, I think was it last week or something like that? There was a lot of hoo-ha about that. But it'll be a summer transfer, well, not summer transfer, but they would look at getting him in the summer rather than the January sort of loan deal or buy him in January. And, as he's in his last months of his contract, he is open to sign a pre-contract agreement with a foreign club. And, when Koeman was in charge at Barcelona, they were touted as a potential. I think it was Atletico Madrid as well. So, where's Jesse going to go? I'm going to go into the chat in a minute. I've seen loads of messages. I'm going to go through them all in a minute. In terms of his sort of fact file, we all know what Jesse brings, but, he's 29. He's had approaching 300 first team appearances across obviously West Ham and various others, and Man United. 56 goals. He's got 35 appearances. He's had 32 international caps, 6 goals. He's also won the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Europa League, and the Super Cup. So he's won a fair bit, as well as winning. I think he won the PL2, the Premier League, or the Premier League under-21 trophies. It was then. Obviously, we know he joined us last season around the same time. He ended up playing 16 games, 9 goals, 5 assists. I think we have 16 first team games left in the Premier League, I believe. So, it's funny how things sort of come around, I suppose. So we know what he delivered. We know, a great return on investment in terms of that loan period. Towards the end, just a little bit sort of tailed off towards the end, but definitely it was a very successful and probably one of arguably our most successful loan periods for a player. Obviously, I'm trying to think back. Long in the old grey matter. Hanu Tiernan was a good loan signing once when we signed Schemmel on loan. But Jesse, I think, was probably our most successful, to be honest, in terms of what his goals contributed to West Ham, finishing, in the Europa League positions. And as I said, I showed this yesterday rather, in terms of the heat maps. This is Jesse's heat map for us this season, or last season rather. And you could see he was all over the bloody place, as well as scoring 9 goals in 16 games. He did a lot of tracking back, and obviously I was fortunate enough to be there to see a lot of these games, and I can allude to the fact that he would run his arse off. Basically, he was running his arse off. The amount of times I saw him sprint back to cover Soufal in right back position when Soufal did one of his marauding runs, he gave a lot to the team. And it was very, to be honest, he should have been in the England squad. Gareth said he'd signed people on form. Jesse in 16 games had scored 9 goals and 5 assists. He was in form, but he couldn't do it. But he didn't get into the squad, unfortunately. And then when he goes back to Man United, despite the fact not playing, he ends up getting in the squad. Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable. So we know what he can bring. And, as I said, there's 3... In essence, there's 3 suitors. It's whether he's going to be a magpie, whether he's going to be a hammer, whether he's going to be a cockerel. So, but what do you think? This is just, it came out yesterday about the loan deal. As I said, it's been apparently Newcastle rebuffed it today for Man United in terms of, but they wanted 2.5 million. If it's 3.5 million, right, and it's 2.5 million, they've spent bloody how much on Chris Woods? And it's £1 million. Surely you'd have paid the £1 million just to get the extra million to get him in. And Man United are haggling for another £1 million. It's crazy, isn't it? Today's day. Right, let's have a look in the chat. There's loads of comments, and I'm going to zoom through as many as I can. I do apologise. Mo's not here today. All right, absence has been noted. Father Snowman is basically boycotting all streams about transfer, so he's not going to watch any pre-West Ham content for the next. You might watch the watch along and the preview, but pretty much every channel is doing all the transfer. That's for the next 2 weeks, particularly after tonight. After Saturday, rather, we've got a 2-week break, haven't we? So you're going to get nothing but transfers and rumours, because that's all we're going to have. We're going to have nothing to talk about, no games to talk about. So Father Snowman is having a 2-week holiday. London's good afternoon to you, John. Hope you're well, my friend. Gaz, I hope you're well. Ray, hope you're well. The only reason Jesse Clay could be because they don't want to play him against Man United. If not the reason, then he's chasing the money. We'll see. We'll see, John. We'll see. I think this has been. If he lets me believe that West Ham is where he wants to go. So is it up to us? Are we waiting, or there was reports today that, and we'll do a transfer roundup tonight. But there's reports today that it's Phillips and old BDD, old Ben Diaz, are the two that Moisey wants to bring. And if that's the case, Diaz, arguably, in my opinion, operates at the moment more on the left-hand side. He's more left-handed sided, sort of forward rather than a striker. So is it a similar thing to the Vlasic thing, where we were going to sign Jesse and then we end up signing Vlasic? Is this going to be our transfer window similar story where we're going to sign Jesse and then we get Ben Diaz? Don't know. He's off to Man City. Yeah. Good luck with that, mighty Badger. 2 out of 3 images of me make Jesse feel sick. I do apologise. I had a little bit sick in my throat putting that Tottenham one together, but we bring you the news. It's up to you guys. Graham, good morning. 5:30 in Alberta, Canada. Let's get past this Lingard and concentrate on other places. And we will do, Graham. We will do. I promise you tonight. We're doing our transfer roundup. We're doing our transfer roundup tonight at 9 p.m, where we go through all the rumours in the last few days and bring you the latest information that we've got in terms of news coverage and things like that. So I'm trying to get a bit fruity with my Attila the Hunt. So there we go. So the Hunt, as in the hunt for him, and Attila the Hunt. I was quite impressed with that. Come on, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I came up with that. So anyway, Newcastle, yeah, they have. As I said, I always said it. Magpie, as much as I hope he signs for us. Football is a football is a short run career, isn't it? And he's 29. This is his last hurrah. So, would we give him a £10 million signing on fee? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think for 29-year-old. I don't know. I'm sick of all these transfers. I'm getting to the point where I just want anyone. Our sign us. We'll get it. Kimbo, good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. David, hope you're well. Afternoon. Did we get him? You did. You got your him. I'm sorry. I'm miles ahead of everyone. Behind Rob. I'm almost like Stell. I'm like 10 minutes behind. I do apologise. Afternoon. Announced for Laney. Indeed. Benny up against Zaha and Haller at 4 p.m. He is indeed. And if he lose, Benny should be back for the Kidderminster game, I believe. He'll go to Newcastle short term. I think that's what's going to happen. I'll be honest. Frank Butcher, good afternoon to you. I'm just going to zoom through a little few. To be honest, I'd rather go for Carvalho. Yeah, we're going to talk about him tonight. Sick of Lingard still waiting. He's going to see. I don't think, David, honestly, personally, I think it's the clubs. I don't think it's him. I honestly don't think it's him. Newcastle, of course, you're going to be interested. If I said to you, you can do a job where you could do the job you're doing now for a club where it's probably going to be a bit easier. You're gonna be front and center. I'm gonna give you 10 million quid as well. Are you going? I would be shot out the door. You know what I mean? But I mean the other fly in the ointment is the World Cup. Does he realistically think he could have a if he goes? I mean, to be honest, I think he should go now to give himself a year to try and get the World Cup squad. Do you think he could? Do you think he could out? Because obviously there's so many players similar to him in terms, and arguably younger players as well. Would he get into the World Cup squad? I mean, he should have got into the Euro squad really, and arguably would have probably taken a penalty in the final and stuff like that. But it's a great sliding doors moment. Right. Let's go for a few. He's in November. J-Lings needs to get. He does. He certainly does, man. Would Lingard go only on loan and make a decision? So that's what we're led to believe, David. The option where before we thought it's almost. I think now Man United are always like, right, let's just cut our losses. He's not going to sign a new contract with us. We can't offer him new deals, new terms. So that's what's been led to believe in terms of what's been in the press. Obviously, we just report what's been in the press, but that's what's been said. So a loan deal for $3.5 million loan deal. I don't think it's a bad deal at all. But if he goes any club, a club, but clearly he just wants money because there's no reason not to go to us. Well, it's not. But we have to say, yes, Jesse, we want you. Man United have to say, okay, you can go to West Ham. He wants to come to West Ham. I think that's been clear what we heard. But I think that it's not him. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know whether we've approached Man United for a loan deal yet. So it's not. I don't think it's us as such. I don't think it's Jesse as such as an individual. I think he wants to come to us, and I think if he had 3 offers on the table, say us Spurs and Man United, so us Spurs and Newcastle, he would probably pick us out of the 3. And it's not a money thing, but I think it's just interesting. After all, Newcastle will gazump us as well as move on. But we'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to Newcastle. It's up to Man United to agree a deal, and then it's up to Jesse to agree the deal as well after that. So if Man United agree the deal with Newcastle and he phones up Moyes and Moyes is like, we're going to wait for you for the summer, then he might join on loan and then come to us in the summer. Who knows? I still think he'd join us in the summer, to be honest. Jesse was keen to London. I hope so. He did all right for us, didn't he? He signed permanently afterwards, but I don't think he had the impacts as much as Jesse Lingard, to be honest, on a loan deal. Brilliant play on his day, just got to get the right deal. Indeed, you're totally right, Luke, on the money. I think Jesse just wants to play football. Don't think Man United will loan him. So a loan to Newcastle to us, so that might be that's what I think could happen. And so, he doesn't have to. He needs to be playing first team football. It doesn't have to be all the same club. So I could quite easily see him going to Newcastle on loan and then signing permanently with us, because I don't think Newcastle fancy it. But I said his mates up there, Kieran Trippier's up there as well. So. And I don't know. I didn't do geography GCSE, but the difference between Newcastle and Man United and Manchester is a smaller distance than maybe Manchester to London. I think. I'm not playing for England. Don't bet competition how I barely ever play him. Indeed. Tony, good afternoon to you. Sorry if I missed your call. I'm just trying to go through everyone. There's so many. Good afternoon, Simon. Won't be anything to see him in the Claret Boo. Indeed, Mike. Won't see him until the the Twitter video of them. Jesse Lingard in some sort, like graffiti. That's when you're fair enough that it happens. I know it's early, but any idea what the plan is for any shows on 31st? Well, there is. I mean, we'll be doing a live stream as always on the 31st of January. With hopefully have secured a nice ex hammer to help us and jump in occasionally for a little bit of a chat anyway. Attila the Thriller, nice. I like that. Should be Attila. That's it. The song, we got the song already. If you sign Axel Zagadou, do push pineapple, shake the tree, and then we've got Attila. It's Attila. Anyway, David appreciates my very good. Pressing question: when are we bringing the crisps? You're so funny, Simon. We've got too much to talk about. I'd rather sign from Luton, as good as and cheaper. I totally agree, Kent. I totally agree. I don't think Diaz is the right one for us, but in Moyes we trust. Wouldn't take the pay cut, Russ. Indeed, fair enough. Bring it back. Well, we might bring it back one day. Maybe we do one day. We'll do some crisps. We'll see. Why would Man United let it play? That's the thing, Gaz. I don't think that's why I can't see it happening to us. But anyway. Apparently, BBC has announced that Man United have rejected all 3 offers. Have they rejected them, or have they said we want more money for them? I don't know. Maybe it depends how much they've given. It said it seems that Newcastle. I mean, I think it's a 3.5 in the Telegraph. On Claret Hughes had 4 million quid for it. I know it's only £500,000 but people are, if Newcastle are haggling for £1 million on a loan deal, they could leave that. No, I'll come back with a bit more. I reckon, as I said, I think there's going to be a lot of activity after Saturday across the board. As I said, at the moment, only 6 clubs in the Premier League have bought someone. 2 of them have loaned them out already. So only really 4 clubs have bought people in their squad now. And so after Saturday, there's now a 2-week gap until the FA Cup, actually, isn't it? The Kidderminster game. And then so, it's almost like you can then concentrate. Surely you'll be concentrating solely on transfers and getting players fit again. Talksport said it would be bad for United if they let him sign for us and we finish above them. It would do. So that's why I can't see it happening on the loan. I really can't. Afternoon. All would link the story. Wasn't sure it was allowed. Indeed. Thank you, Stephen. Gaza, they let him join us last year. They did. Yeah, that's a fair point, Nuds. Because I mean, we dropped a few places as he signed, didn't we? Then we won a few games. No, he didn't. Sorry. In January, at the end of the year, we then won a few games, and so we were on a bit of a run, and he came in, didn't he? And then we ended up. You're totally right, lads. Man United through care. Look at Sancho on the bench. Oh, ridiculous, isn't it? What if he signs with a view to a permanent deal? Do you think he would go for that? By the sounds of it, he won't. He won't. But I think the summer will be interesting. So for me, if he signs on a loan at Newcastle, the permanent deal would obviously be if they stay up. If they stay up, apparently, according to Claret Hughes, a 10 million quid signing on fee. Then what's happened. But then, I think for Newcastle, if Newcastle stay out this season, in the summer, there's a massive rebuilding job for them to become this superpower. They've got the money behind it. So who knows? Whereas the Minge is always close to hand. Always have the Minge close to hand, Rob, as you well know. Maybe I'm just going through a few. Keep in tune, Russ. I am in tune. I've got the voice. They call me the bowling buble. Or the London Stadium Sinatra, each to their own. I'm just scared the fact our club's a threat because they're 7th right now. It's a hard place to be in it. Looking down at Man United. Hopefully we're carrying on looking at Man United after Saturday. Old Jamaican. That's the chocolate that Lee always thinks I have. We were 4th and 5th. That's it. I remember right, Ferris. Honestly, if we had a bigger squad equality, I think we'd be above Chelsea. I think squad depth is always an issue and has been an issue for us for a long time, not just in the last 18 months. But I think, verbatimly a long time. We've had issues with squad depth, and then there was a period. Do you remember? I think it was like when Slav came in, and he brought lots of players. He got lots of players in, but they didn't really add anything. They were just squad players, and they didn't play much. And then it took so long to get them out. That's why we're still on the back of. I mean, that's why I think this summer is going to be a really interesting summer for us, because people who were signed under the Pellegrini era, all their contracts are sort of up now, really. So Yarmolenko, is it Masuaku's contract out as well? Some of these players who have, apart from, I mean, Fornals is the only one I think who'll continue from the Pellegrini era. Obviously, Felipe Anderson has gone, Haller's gone, so I think there'll be, then it's literally Moyes' squad. He hasn't got a full squad of his players. So he's taken this sort of almost 2 years to get that squad to a period that he's happy with. And then hopefully, in the summer, because obviously we'll be Champions League then, won't we? And we've won the FA Cup, and because we've won Europa League as well, so we won't have to worry about league position. So then we need to invest. Russ, I've got my own transfer. I'm an unofficial scout. How about Jed Spence? Great shout. Elise from Palace. He's already got him. I mean, he signed from Reading. I wanted him when he was at Reading. And if you don't believe me, go back and I think Full Shemayan in the summer, I said Michael Luisi from Reading. He's a great one. Just saying. Grabbing at Forest would have been good if he was a bit younger. But he's a great player. There is plenty of you're totally right, man. And we'll be covering a few of them tonight. Obviously, a couple of the Fulham boys we're linked with, as you know. Frano, good afternoon to you. Lingard will only be at Newcastle for 18 months. If they went there's a stepping stone for them playing, I'd fade into the background, give them the league. Well, I think, to be honest, I think Newcastle, they're, personally, I can see him going on loan to Newcastle. That to me seems an obvious thing. Man United aren't going to let us have him. We're not going to spend 20 million quid on him for 6 months either, because that's what would happen. If we waited 6 months and then we get him in, by the time, I mean, he's 29 now. His birthday's in December, so by the time the World Cup comes, he'll be almost 30. And by then, he would have played. He could have played. We could play. Nice. What we got? January. Well, say February, March, April, May. 4 months. 4 months from Newcastle, and then August, September, October. So basically, look how fat my fingers are. So basically, he's got 7 months, because November the World Cup sort of starts, and you'd have had to given your squads in by then, I'd imagine. So yeah. Talking about transfers, I think Diop should stay at West Ham and Zuma because he's very underrated. I totally agree. Could we try and get? I mean, I'd love Gallagher. I don't know if Chelsea would let us have him, but same with Borgia at Southampton. I mean, who was it today? There was. Oh, it was someone like Noel Whelan. He always talks about transfers. He's obviously on some news site, and he said West Ham we should go for Bojan. Not Bojan. That's a different type of play. He was rubbish at Stoke, but Broja. And I think, because obviously he's smashing him in for Southampton at the moment, on loan from Chelsea. But Chelsea, I think they quite like having him on their books. In the same way, they like having a lot of players on their books, so they can keep them on their books. It's useful for them. Would like to see 4-3-3. Kral with Rice. Well, it's not going to happen. You're not going to Kral in there. Might be gone by then. Who knows? Be good to have Souček and Zoom back. It would be indeed. Anton will be doing a preview of the Man United game, I think on it's Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Bloody hell. Tomorrow. He'll be doing it tomorrow night sometime, the preview. And obviously I'll hopefully, if I'm be doing the watch along, because Anton's going all corporate on us. Breaking. If FIFA reveal new loan it stock clubs stop buying talent, discuss. Well, there we go. That's exactly the point with Chelsea. Maybe we should be buying these players now before they get told they have to get rid of them anyway. You get yourself a bargain. For Conor Gallagher and Borgia from Southampton. That'll do me. Nice. Afternoon's been offered a ticket to Man United away. Fuming, I can't afford it. One. Revo, poor man. Borgia's a great shout. Can't believe Chelsea let him go. He's better than Lukaku. But then they didn't spend how much money on Lukaku on Borgia, didn't they? But they did on Lukaku. So Tuchel's got to sort of show the worth, really, don't is it more than anything? Ray Keller would be happy if we could prize him away, but how many Chelsea? They are lone cash cows. Well, indeed, well, as you said, apparently FIFA are putting in a things to stop them doing it. They've got something like 25. I think, isn't it? Claude Makelele is their loan manager, and they've got something like 25 or something like that, at least, players on loan. They had, I think this season they've got 3 Chelsea players at club's top goal scorers. I think Mason Mount is Chelsea's top goal scorer, or something like that. I think obviously Conor Gallagher was Crystal Palace's, and Borgia, he's Southampton's top goal scorer. Mental. Absolutely mental. I want Netflix to do it inside the minds of David Moyes. There we go. We'll see. Paul Merson was raving about Borgia. He will be on loan at 7 different clubs, 7 years, getting the money in, then sell him. We know that's what's going to happen, Ken, isn't it? We know, unfortunately. What's going on, indeed? As we don't sign, long as we don't sign any defenders from Leicester. Oh, God, isn't it? Oh, Leicester. Ruined my evening, they did. What's from across? Nothing, but he doesn't get played, does he? You know, when Moyes had a chance to play him, he hasn't played him. So I don't think, and by all accounts, you know, they don't fancy him and they're sending him back to Sparta Moscow. Which could a little bit of maybe, which could, you know, sort of give credence to us getting in Boubacar Kamara from Marseille, the defensive midfielder, centre back turned defensive centre midfielder, very similar to Declan Rice. Potentially, you know, we can in the summer, but you know, they can get a bargain, about 5-6 million quid for him. Now, I'm giving you what I'm going to talk about tonight, but that could give credence to that. It's all quite cyclical. Recently, last sort of couple of days, we've been linked with a lot of younger players, which I see them as more of Moyes type signings. You know, where we were like Hazard and people like that, they were like, you know, the wrong side of 20, sort of the late 20s. Now it's like, and someone like Fabio from Fulham, you know, we've been paying, he's 5-6 million quid, something like that. Ridiculous, apparently. So why wouldn't you? I'm still only up for old Paddy Schlick from Bundesliga. Can't happening though. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit tonight. A little bit of news. Nothing sort of, oh my God, he's at the time, but a little bit of news. That's what we bring to you, the latest news. So we'll do that tonight. Kamara will be on a Bosman though, right? In the summer he can be, but you can buy him now. That's what I mean. They're trying. I think I did a show about 3 or 4 weeks ago. There are lots and lots and lots and lots of free transfers in the summer. Lots of players within the contracts, and Boubacar Kamara is one of them. Same as Dennis Zakaria, same as Zagadou, same as Nicolas Soul. There's loads of them, and there's deals to be had in January to get them in early. Because I mean, sort of you open it up to the market really on a pre-contract agreement. Of course, he could sign a pre-contract agreement now for us, and apparently Roma are looking at him as well. Old bloody Jose Mourinho. So you know, if you can get a step on them by spending 5-6 million quid, buying out his 6 month, the rest of his contract, get him in now, maybe even loan him back to Marseille. You know what I mean? Get him in the summer. That's not a bad deal to be had, I think, for someone who, say, you pay 5-6 million quid for him. He's 21, 22. He is going to be brilliant. And even if he's not, you'd sell him for 10-15 million quid, no problem. And so you'd make your money back. That's the way I see it. I don't think some people do. Let's surprise everyone and sign Lewandowski. Well, apparently he's Bayern Munich are looking maybe in the summer to see if he doesn't sign a new contract soon. Haven't we got a few? We do indeed. We have quite a few out of contract. Anton did a show earlier today. Apparently, Fabianski has signed a one year extension to his contract. We have an option already on Ben Johnson for 2 years at the end of his contract, I believe already. I think he'll probably be another one that's been signed up. But I think Yarmolenko's out of contract. I believe Masuaku might be out of contract. There's a lot. We have quite a few. Same as every club, it seems. I'd go for Kamara 5 minutes. Nothing. He's class. Roving about Kamara. Yep. Kamara is someone I've been looking at. He's been captain of Marseille. You know, similar path to Declan Rice. Started as a centre back, moved into CDM, and reads the game very well. I think he'll be really good. Him, Declan Rice, and Souček as a 3. I like it. As an options. And then eventually, if Mr. Rice goes in a couple of seasons' time, Kamara will be 24, 25, ready to take it. I think it's a good one. At present, have 14, Chelsea 11, 9. Plan to reduce by 1 each year till when it will be 6. 6 seems fair though, doesn't it? I mean, we've had Connor's gone back out, but we had Connor, we had Alves, we had Trot, we had Anang, we had who else is on there? Apparently, what's his face? Cardosa. Gonzalo Cardosa is going to go to Real Betis. We've had Nathan, what's his face? He's on loan as well. So that's 6 already. We haven't even thought about it. Zagadou won't be able, as he's only 23, spend a few bob on him now, and I'd be happy. Totally too. Zagadou, push pineapple, shake your tree. Indeed. And then Attila Hun. I don't know. Steve, mate, drown out the Spurs patter. Indeed. The way things are going, we might get step toe and some way things are going. I think I might turn up and get a game on a free and no comp as he doesn't come through. This very injury prone though. He is, but he's got a good name. Russ, do you think we'll have Areola next season? I don't think we have that. I don't think we will. I mean, I know people, and I just think. I mean, he's probably got 16 Premier League games left. Plus, there's there's at least another 2 Europa League. Hopefully, a lot more than 2. Plus the FA Cup, at least another. Or at least another one. I hope we get past Kidderminster. So there's not a huge amount of time for him to. I think if Moyes had faith in him, not faith in him, but if Moyes fancied him, he would have played him. I think this season Fabianski hasn't had much of an injury. Every season he tends to get an injury, but not this season. So, and to be honest, I think it's been difficult to judge as well because he hasn't had like his first choice centre back pairing for quite a lot of this season. I mean, I like Areola. He's the type of goalkeeper I enjoy watching because he's a bit crazy. He's got that sort of Adrian about him. But I know what a fantastic keeper Sam Johnson is. And I think where he can, Moyes does tend to get homegrown talent in. He does tend to, like Jared Bowen. I know the Czech boy is a little bit different, but Jared Bowen, for example, he's looking at, even people like Ben Rama, they've been grounded in the Championship and have been working their way through the Championship. So I think he tends to prefer, if there was a choice, I think if he was like presented with 2, I think he'd probably go for Sam Johnston. If it was like, what one? Not just, I mean, the transfer fee would be a couple of £1 million cheaper. Would be non-existent actually because of your free transfer. So obviously we'll get a signing on fee. But then you look at the 2, he'll be on maybe 50 grand a week less wages, which then could be reallocated to rather than paying him 110 or whatever Areola's on, he'll be on maybe 60. I think he's only on about 20 now, 25. So he'll be on maybe 60, 70. And then those wages could be reallocated within the budget because obviously because we're in Europe, I think we can only have a maximum of 70% of our income can go to wages rather. I think we're at 67% or something like that. Kieran Maguire said I think it was on Gio did a video a while ago. It was really good actually. So it's something you have to bear in mind. I know we don't like to think about that, but they do. I'm going to lock him in the store cover if he keeps that. Frank, indeed. My team can go down first after a minute. It's all right. You're getting Wayne Rooney back as your manager. After big Duncan Ferguson, Wayne Rooney's going to come in. There we go. He's got unfinished business. I saw the video. I saw the meme. Unfinished business. She's 82. Her name's Vera. Hooray! I'd like to lock all the Spurs in a giant freezer for the winter. It would be nice. It'd be lovely. Hibernating. Very big push that can be the next big club in Britain. Yeah, I totally agree, man. Moyes still wasting time bringing on and giving Oxflex. I think, it does frustrate a lot of people. Should look at Carvalho and Thuram for future, both free in the summer. Lots of potential. Carvalho, I think you can pick up now for about £5-6 million. Be something like that. I would do that. I mean, again, it's like that's why I'm talking to you on a YouTube, not a Rush Green or something like that. It seems a right good deal, and then loan him back to you could buy Carvalho. He's not really needed really at the moment. I'd then send him back. Because particularly we'll have Ben Rama back as well, so it's sort of oversubscribed on sort of attacking midfielders, wingers type things. Loaning back to Fulham, get him in the summer. They're smashing it. For them, isn't it the first time in 80-something years that a team, an English team in the league has won a game has scored 6 goals in 3 games in a row or something ridiculous like that. Oh, shut up. I do keep in tune. Players who are under 22 and trained by the club before turning, except for the new laws. There we go. Good to know. Does cutting it down to 6-star talent from getting first team football, though? I think you should stop teams loaning so much to top players, but not lower leagues, because that's how you stay alive. Great shout, Ken. I think you're right. It's the loan system. If like, rather than sending, look at Chelsea, Carvalho, you've got Borgia, potentially Malang Sarr has been an option, as a loan option. That's something we've been looking at as well. So that's 3 players in the Premier League who play for Chelsea. I think you're right. I think there should be something in place where they shouldn't be able to loan them to a club in their league. But then it might sort of be disadvantageous to maybe Norwich, Billy Gilmore. That type of thing. That's a good shout. But I know what you mean. I don't think there's any way you can come up with a right answer, really. Yama again sent him to rush in front, or sometimes take Massa as well. It seems to be it's a shop window job. I totally agree, to be honest, because he's not going back to PSG. Donnarumma's in the between the sticks, and they've got Navas as well. So they've got some goalkeepers there. Sure, perhaps they should send one of the soldiers for the heat map. Unbelievable. What about the Schlick rumor? We'll talk about Schlick later on. We'll talk about it a bit later on. Apparently he's close. I think he will be close. I can see him honestly going on loan to Newcastle. It just seems the right deal. He's not going to come to us, but it is. But as I said, Newcastle had it rebuffed by Man United today. It was reported on Sky and on the Daily Telegraph. But they might come back with more. Who knows? They might be negotiating in terms of loan percentages, in terms of how much of the wages they're going to be spending and that type of thing. Who knows? We don't know. But his heart is set on coming to West Ham permanently. That's what we've been led to believe by all the reports we've been reading. But Newcastle look like they've put a bid in for him. And until we put a bid in for him, we can't say if it's going to go for the money or that's what it is. Yeah, we don't know. So if Newcastle avoid relegation, who's going down? Oh, I think Villa will avoid. I don't think Newcastle will. I think it's too far for them. We have to be patient, let Moyes get the players he wants. We'll live and die by his own decisions, not decisions. But totally right, Victor. And I think you won't see nothing until after Saturday, next week onwards. I can see a lot happening next 2 weeks, including for us as well. As I said, we were meant to have Governor B on yesterday. We got bumped off for Sky Sports. Unbelievable. But he'll be back on tomorrow, next week. We're just confirming what date he'll be back on. So we'll have Governor B back on tonight, back on the show to do Miami's 11. Got a few ex-players lined up next couple of weeks as well. As of tonight, we've got our transfer roundup, including talking about Attila, who I really, really rate. I think he's a great player. I think he'd be fantastic at West Ham. I really, really do. It's a disgrace how inconsistent we are in transfer window. We haven't signed a single player. Just typically us waiting to the last stage to sign an unknown championship player like Jared Bowen. What a crap signing that was, BRDC. And take a gamble as always. No, I totally agree. But as I said, looking at the league as a whole, it takes 2 to tango as well. Takes 2 to tango. As I said, that's why I can't see Man United loaning us Jesse Lingard, because they've instantly improved our team, and we could be taking the 4th spot instead of Man United. The chances are Man United get a top 4th spot. The whole team's in turmoil. So we've got a smaller pot to fish in the Premier League, and we don't want to go and spend. And then the trouble is, then those teams know we're desperate, or no, we need to get bodies in, a bit like Newcastle. And then Burnley can say, yeah, 25 million quid for Chris Woods or whatever it is. Really? And then they're looking, and then we'll be accused of overspending on a player. You know what I mean? And it's like, so we can't win. So then we have to look maybe abroad. And then it's more of a risk. It'd be cheaper, but it's more of a risk because they might not have the Premier League experience. I can't see which way people would work. As I said, only 6 clubs in the Premier League have bought someone in the January transfer window. 2 of them have sent them back, sent them out to one sent them back to the club they bought it from. I think it might have been Wolves. Could have been Wolves. But so it's only 4 clubs: Villa, Newcastle, Everton, and Watford. Those are the 4 clubs who've done some proper business. None of them in our league. Chelsea haven't bought no one. Man City haven't bought one. United haven't bought one. Even Leicester haven't bought anyone. Tottenham, Liverpool, none of these, Arsenal, none of these clubs have bought any players. We have actually, tell a lie, we bought Anthony Marshall from not Anthony Martial, but Anthony Marshall from Linfield, and he's absolutely banging them in. I think he's got 2 in 2 now for the under 18s. Reckon Newcastle, Burnley. I think that's right. I think you're right, man. Sam Johnson, Carvalho, left back. We should buy them, loan them back to. Yep, no, I totally agree. Lingard's close. He's in Durham. There we go. Governor Edger, he is indeed. We meant to get him on today, but unfortunately, yesterday, but unfortunately, we got bumped off. Governor B, hold on, was no news at the moment. But, Mickey, the only news is that it came out that he's available on a loan deal for £3.5 million or to £4 million, Clarence Hughes said. So Newcastle have put a bid in for him on loan. It's been rejected. And so that's where we're up to at the moment. Lingard picked if he would be West Ham. I totally agree. I heard it was to get Lingard. It would be the last day of transfer. That's if it happens. I think we would, and it'll be like literally. Oh yeah, come on in. He's going to come. I have no doubt he'll come in the summer. No doubt for me. And then it's almost like in January. Yes, it is at the end of a. But the thing is, after what's name, after Saturday, we have not got a game until Kidderminster in February. So it can go to the last day, and then we've still got a week until he gets in. So, not sure, Steve. I know Lampard is at the club interview. That is Betty from the Tea Lady, indeed. Another thing with us, we're linked with multiple players. Once again, Premier League challenges. Go and grab the other team. But then Digne was like over, was he 20? They spend something like 25 million quid for him, plus over 100 and something grand a week for a 29-year-old. That seems a bit desperate for me. I'll be honest. I love signing Lingard today, and then he goes and scores. That's why he won't sign, definitely. Lingard won't be signing. We're not getting anyone. If I don't, I've heard this from several people. There we go. Alex has spoken. Apparently Lingard's spotted in Westfield buying some trainers. There we go. He still has his gaff, doesn't he? He has his gaff in the same block as Moisey. We might end up with Kiefer Moore. God dear. Anyway, gentlemen and ladies, I'm going to have to skedaddle. As I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be back tonight, 9 p.m, with our transfer roundup, where we go through all the rumours that have been up in the last sort of few days after the West Ham Weekly. How many have we got? Let me tell you how many we've got, because you might want to get yourself a cup of tea and settle down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, just 16. Just the 16 players we've been linked to in the last few days. So, that's not bad for us. That's not bad. I don't want Lingard back because he won't be the same player. That's the thing. He might not be. There is no doubt about Lingard coming. Don't think I'd like to see sit on our hands until summer on the assumption he'll come to us over Spurs and Newcastle. I think he would. I really think so. There's also the start potential problems with the Moyes. Yeah, fair enough. Glad to catch a live show. Have a great day. Thank you, Mighty Badger. Let's not rule out toffees for the drop. Just got to lock the spud in. Me too. Countdown. We'll find out by the end. Indeed. Thank you very much, Black Country. I'll see you there too. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything. Anytime I put new content, then maybe become a member, hit the channel thing. I think there's over 50 or 52, something like that, members we've got, which is mental. And I'd like to thank every one of them personally at the end of my show. So take care, everyone. Stay safe, wash those hands, get those jab appointments, get those boosters, keep nice and warm. It's still a bit nippy, isn't it? It's still a nip in the air. Come in your irons, and I'll see you again at 9 p.m. tonight. Cheers, my friends. Bye-bye.
like a family tree.